test cases, then like what is the life cycle for test cases, test that is related to test management, as well as the automation test strategy. So now today in this particular module 3, we are going to cover the actual use case for creation of test case. So we are going to create our own first test case in UiPath Test Suite, and that will be the practical session. And how easy it is to create a particular test case in UiPath Test Suite will be the game changer for today's session. So let's start with this, and let's see how it works. So so this is today's agenda related to overview of UiPath Test Suite, how it works, then installation and configuration, what are the necessary steps for that. After that, we will be covering during journey, what are the test activities we need to use for UiPath Test Suite. Then how to publish test cases in Orchestrator, where we can see the results of test case while doing the execution. So finally, the test executions and the orchestration of that particular test case. So this is the agenda for today's session. So let's see how the installation and configuration takes place. So there are UiPath Test Pro Enterprise and Community version, and it's available on UiPath website. You can just download and you can start using it. You need an orchestrator where, as I said, we need to do the orchestration of our test case. So how the test case is running, is it pass, fail, someone somewhere stuck? So we should get the idea about it. That's the reason orchestrator is needed. Then the robot, where we will run that particular test case. So this is the important part of installation and configuration, and this is very simple step to take UiPath Testing Studio Pro on your machine. So you can try this on your laptop or machine. And like test case components and types, here there are three parts: given, when, and then. So this will be this will be the practically we will show you after this few slides. So how to use given, how to use when, how to use then, and what is the use for that. So given is the input data preconditions for the test case. So we need to input some Excel file, or from the database we will be taking the data. So that is the input data which we will be passing to the test case. Then when is the actual workflow? These are the steps to execute. So in testing language, the steps to execute are very important, so that we can survive what is the testing or what type of description that particular test case is having, what is the objective of that test case. So that's the reason steps are very important. So where we are covering this in when. And then is the validation, actual comparison for the expected result and the actual result that will be happening in the then condition. So this is the given, when, then. So how to use it? Just wait for 10 minutes. You will be seeing it's practically. Workflow types. So it's a simple test case we can create by using, it's a positive test case we can create simple by using the test case as a workflow type. And then second is a data driven test case. For example, you want to pass a different type of permutation combination of data in that particular test case. So how to do that? So that is why data driven test case came into picture. So these are the workflow types which we are normally used in all the test cases suite. So after this component, the next part is we need to use the verification activity. So the first verification activity, verify expression, so where we need to see what we need to verify, or what is the actual result and what is the expected result. We need to compare that particular thing. After comparison, what will happen? So that we need to give into the action or a condition. So that is the verify expression come into picture. Then the verify expression with operator. So here I'm just saying equal to. So this is the operator which we are using, but we need to use different type of operator. Then you can use this verify expression with operator if you don't only want to use the equal to. then verify expression operator will be used. Verify control attribute, where you want to take the data dynamically and then you need to compare that data. So that's the reason verify control attribute come into picture. So this verify expression with operator and verify control attribute. All three activities we are going to use in today's session practically. After that, you need to publish your test cases in Orchestrator. This is very important part, because without publishing, you cannot execute your test case. So the steps to publish your test cases in Orchestrator is, in project panel, you need to right click on test case and set as publishable. This is very simple step. This is one click and you can publish your test case. After that, you have to choose the option publish or publish test case ribbon. After this, after publishing of test cases, it will be visible in the Orchestrator, but before that you need to set the testing capabilities. So to run this particular test case, you have to set up one robot inside the testing type. So that is also important part. Without robot, where that particular test case will run, because from Orchestrator we can run the test case, but there should be something physically, like one robot should be there where we can run that particular test case. So that is very important part. So after this license, testing license, we need to set on the portal, and the practical session will be happening related to this as well. So each and every part, whatever I'm covering here in the slides, will be done practically. This is just a walkthrough so that you can understand what are the things we are going to do. This is the Orchestrator dashboard, where we will be adding the testing license, and then only after adding the testing license, test cases, test sets, test execution panel, and the test schedules, all these points will be available for you. So these are the main testing options from where this Orchestrator we can run our test case. We can test case are the list of test cases, then you can select test cases for test case sets is nothing but a test suite. That will be the combination of test cases. Then you can execute your test cases inside the Orchestrator, and you can schedule your test case. So this is the like important part as well, so that you in Orchestrator you can do all these actions on your test cases. So in case of like test suite, you can create regression test suite, important. Then the test set, as I said, test suite, that is a combination of test cases. So different test suite we can create different depending upon the description and the environment and the filter of the project. So that can be done. And the last point is the test execution, where we will run the test cases actually and see the result. What is the result? How many test cases are passed, fail, blocked? Everything will be done the orchestration. So let's see after this, after test execution. This is the practical test case which we are going to create now. So here, like we will be checking the login functionality with the valid email ID and valid password. This is very simple step test case we are going to create, because so that you will get the hands-on of creation of test case. We will see this particular test case to create, how to create it in test suite, UiPath test suite. And these are the test steps for particular test case. The opening browser, so how to open browser easily by one click and drag and drop. Then sign in functionality, we will put some test data in that particular test case on that particular website, and we will observe the expected result. So this is the test case which we are going to automate today. So without wasting a time, let's start with the test case. So I'm inviting Soni Reddy to show you the actual implementation of this particular test case in UiPath test suite. Welcome, Soni.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Thank you, Swati.
Yeah.
So let me share my screen. So let us start with performing a manual process. So for performing a manual process, I need to open a Google Chrome browser and enter Amazon link, enter Amazon URL. Then after that, I have to click on sign in button. It is loading. I need to click on sign in. System, it is taking time to load. Enter Amazon URL. So these are the manual steps that I need to perform. Enter URL in the Google Chrome browser. I have to click on the sign in button, enter username, password. I need to check that it is logged in successfully in Amazon website or not. So go to the toggle button, click on sign in. So it navigates to the email ID page. So I have to manually enter email ID, then click on continue button. And after that, I need to provide a password and click on login button. Then I have to check that using email ID and password, it is successfully logged into the Amazon website or not. So there is a checkpoint. In this, if it is already signed out, this is my checkpoint that if its sign out element gets exist, then I am successfully logged into the website. So for manual process, we need to process all these steps, so that now I'm going to show that how we will be developing through automated process. I have already automated this manual process login functionality. Now I'm going to execute this test case. Just go to debug file and click on run file to execute our process. So now first it will kill all the process which is currently opened in the Google Chrome. It has killed the process which is already opened in the Google Chrome. Now it will open browser. After opening browser, it will enter Amazon URL link. Then it will click on the toggle button. So bot will click on toggle button and click on sign out. After signing out, it will enter email ID, click on continue button. And after that, it will enter a password, then click on login button. Then it will check that we have successfully signed into the Amazon website or not by our sign out checkpoint. For checking, again it will click on this 3-line button. And check our sign out element is exist or not. As this test case execution is completed, we can see our result in output panel that my output result is equal to my expected result. So this we have automated with our using UiPath Studio Pro. Now let us start with implementation to build our test cases. Just go open to the UiPath Studio Pro, click on test automation and give project name as, for example, I'm giving project name as demo login functionality. Now provide a location where you need to save your project. and the description. Then click on create. It will take some time to load because in backend it is restoring all the dependencies and adding packages and all. It is creating workspace and adding packages. As we can see, design panel get appeared. This demo login functionality is my project name. And as you can see, UiPath testing activities by default, it is added. So I want to create a login functionality process. So for that, go to new, click on sequence and give my sequence name as login functionality and click on create. After clicking on create, this sequence gets added. So for that, I have to kill my process. I have to kill my window which is already opened in Google Chrome. So in activities panel, I will drag and drop kill process activity. So search kill process, drag and drop activity in sequence and give process name as Chrome in inverted commas, double inverted quotes. If you want to kill process in Internet Explorer, then in process name you can give as a Hi Explorer. So what does it does? Kill process will kill all the windows which are currently opened in the Google Chrome. After killing this process, I want to open my browser. I want to open Google Chrome browser. Then I will drag and drop open browser. So I want to open my browser in the Google Chrome. So in browser type, I will select Chrome. There are multiple options present, but currently I am using Chrome. And in open browser, I want to provide a URL. So I need to open Amazon website. So provide URL name, copy this URL and inverted quotes, enter URL. After entering URL, I want to click on sign in button. So for that, I need to use this click action on this. So here we are performing a click action. So we will drag and drop click activity. So after dragging and drop click activity, just click on this 3 option and click on indicate on screen. After clicking on indicate on screen, it will show to highlight to indicate our elements. Just indicate this 3 lines toggle button and just select it. After selecting it, it will show an informative screenshot. Just click on this and click on edit selector to verify that our selectors are identified properly or not. It is in green color, that means our selectors are proper. And if you want to cross check, then click on highlight and check that it is indicated properly or not. So click on OK. After clicking on that, I want to click on sign in or sign out button to navigate to my login page. So here also we are performing a click action. So drag and drop click activity, indicate screen, just select. So go to indicate edit selector and check it is validating or not. If here you can see AA name has sign out. If here sign in is available, then it will not indicate. So to make it dynamic, go to open in UI Explorer UI Explorer will get open. And we have to make this selector as a dynamic. If there sign in or sign out, both the options are available, then it will click on that. As it is taking time to open. Yeah, it has opened. Just uncheck AA name where sign out is there. So that selector will become a dynamic.
So here, just to add what Sony is explaining, dynamic selector is very important. Otherwise, if selector attribute get changed, your selector will not work and your test case will not work, whatever you have automated. So that is very important part.
So uncheck this AA name. If there is sign in option is also available, then our selector will check that. And if it is sign out is also available, then our selector will indicate. So just validate that it is indicating properly or not. So yes, it is getting validated. Then click on save. Then click on OK. The changes have not been saved. In left hand side, we can see all the properties of our selectors and all. So these are the selectors which are present for sign out. Just uncheck this selector. And validate it. And click on save. Then click on OK. So change naming convention. Here we are doing sign in. The naming conventions is very important role that can be easily identified if developers and testers. So after clicking on this, we will be navigating into our email ID page. So here I have to enter my email ID. So here it is a type action. So for this action, I will be using type into activity. So this type into activity is used to type our data in the text field. So click on indicate on screen and just indicate this field. And go to edit selector and just verify that our selectors are validating or not. Then click on OK. In double quotes, I will be providing my email ID. So this is a hard coded that I am giving. It will indicate this element and type email ID. After that, I have to click on this continue button. Then drag and drop, click activity from activities panel and indicate continue button. Click on edit selector and check our selector is validating or not. It is validating. Just change naming conventions. Here we are just clicking continue button. And here we are typing email ID. We are entering our email ID in the text field. So after clicking on continue button, we need to indicate our password field. So indicate this password field, drag and drop type into activity, click on indicate on screen, indicate this element, check our selector is working or not. It is validating, provide password in double quotes, and after that I have to click on this login button. There is also a click action. We are performing a click action over here, so we will be providing a click activity. Indicate on screen, click on login button. Give naming convention, login, and here it is a password. So this whole process, this is under a login functionality workflow. This is my login functionality workflow. Then I have to create a test case based on this workflow. So after entering this password, I will successfully logged in into the website. So sign out is my checkpoint. So I will be converting this login functionality workflow in a test case. For that, we need to go to project panel. This is my main workflow, login functionality workflow. Just right click on this workflow and click on create test case. And give test case name. Here I am providing TC001 and create it. To create the test cases, we need to follow this given, when, and then structure. So in given, we have to provide an input data to our workflow. This workflow is my main login functionality workflow, which is imported in when section. In then section, we will be verifying our expected and actual result outcomes. So here I have provided a hard-coded value in sign email ID and password. So my given I will be providing my expected result data. For that, I will drag and drop assign activity and create expected result variable. My expected result should be sign out. So this is my expected result, and change scope to TC001, which was under given scope, but I need to provide scope for this whole. So this is my expected result data, which I have provided in a given section. And in when section, this is a workflow, login functionality workflow. And in then section, we will be providing, or we will be assigning a verification activities. So these three are my verification activities that I have to compare my actual result with expected result. For actual result, I have to again click on this toggle button and get text from sign out. So in then section, I will use click activity, indicate on this screen, edit selector, it is validating. After that, I have to get this sign out button. So I will be using attribute verify control attribute. What does verify control attribute does? We can drag and drop our activity in first expression and compare with our second expression. So I will drag and drop get text activity, which will extract my data from the website. Just simply drag and drop this activity and click on indicate on screen and extract this value. So it will compare that my and give name as a actual result. This is my actual result, which will compare with my expected result. It is simple, done. So in given section, I have provided a data that is expected result, and in when section, we are providing a workflow functionality, login functionality workflow, and in then section, we are using a activity, verification activity. So I will execute this test case from UiPath Studio Pro, and we can see following result in this output panel. Just go to debug file. As we can see, these two options are not visible because we are not reading the data from Excel file. Just click on run file. Now it will kill process, which is already opened in Google Chrome. Now we will open Google Chrome browser. Amazon URL is entered. Now it will click on the toggle button. If it is already signed in, then also it will click on sign out because that selector is dynamic. It has signed out and navigated to email ID page, entered email ID, click on continue, then it will click on password and click on login. It is successfully logged into the website. Then it will click on toggle button and check our checkpoint, that is sign out is our checkpoint, that is our actual result and compared with our expected result. It clicked on toggle button and extracted. So our execution is done and we can see our output result in this panel. So now we have implemented and successfully built our test case in UiPath Studio Pro and executed our test result from UiPath Studio Pro. Now I don't want to do hard coded. Here I have provided a hard coded value. I want to read data from Excel sheet. So what I need to do is just go to project panel and in test case click on add test data and select file. We can import our Excel files from different location. Just click on test data. So I'm importing this test data. Then click on open. As we can see, it is showing a Excel file name and worksheet name. Then click on import. So that all the data has been imported in this test cases. Just go to debug file. Now see, these two options are get visible. So this one test data which was available in my Excel sheet with these columns. My column name is module, submodule, test case ID, description, steps, email ID, password. So I want to read data from the Excel sheet and we can manually run from this, checking the text box and by using the run. But here now I have provided a hard coded value. I need to provide Excel data value. For that, we need to go to the arguments.
Sony, just a second. Let's take a break for 4 to 5 minutes. Let's see if someone is having queries and resolve that queries, and then we will move ahead because we have created the entire test case now. in 12 minutes, and you can see how easy it is, and how that doesn't require anything about related to coding, and that is very easy implementation of your first automation test case. So let's see, if you are having any query, you can put that on chat so that Sony and I can see that, and we can answer that query for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will move ahead for the how to take that particular data in data table format or dynamic format, because she have done it hard coded. So how to move that dynamically, that we will see.
And in case you want to unmute and ask any question, you can do that as well.
So are you getting everything? You don't have any query, you can just say yes in chat window, so that we will get to know that you are getting everything. And it is very simple how to use this drag and drop method and create your first automation test case. Just put yes, you are getting it, so that like we can move ahead. Yes, so Sony, I think we can move ahead because everyone is saying yes, they understood each and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
So here it is a hard-coded value. So I need to provide a data which is coming from the Excel. So just go to arguments and create argument. For example, email ID and password is my hard-coded value. I have to provide that. So I will create an argument and give direction as in, because we are reading the data from the Excel sheet. So direction will be in. And after that, my argument is password. I create password for the argument. With the direction will be in. So 2 arguments I have created for email ID and password. So I will remove this hard-coded value and enter email ID argument. So in password section also, we will remove this hard-coded value and give password argument. So here we have provided an argument. So now we will switch to the test case. In when section, we have seen click on import arguments, which we have created under login functionality workflow. That arguments has been exported. So now I have imported my text file. So these all are my column names, which is already there in my Excel sheet. That Excel sheet consists of module column, submodule column, test case ID and all. So this is my column name. So in this import arguments, I will be providing a Excel file column name, that is email ID is my column name, which is already imported, and password is my column argument, that is Excel sheet column name. So click on OK. So in this value, email ID and in password X, it is storing Excel value, and that value we are sending to the in email ID argument, and this in email ID argument we are sending to the email and password text field. Then click on OK. So now it is very simple to read data from the Excel sheet by just adding our test data, by adding our Excel file and providing the arguments. Now just go to debug file and click on run file with data variations. So currently we are having only the test data. So just click on this. If you are having a multiple data, we can click on multiple check boxes and click on run. After clicking on run, it will execute the file, which is data coming from the Excel file. So it has killed the process. Open Amazon browser. So now this execution is from reading the data from the Excel file. Previously, I have run that was a hard-coded value. Now this we are getting a data from the Excel file. Now again click on that. Click on sign out button. Then it will enter email ID, this data which is coming from the Excel file, password, and click on login. Then it will click on toggle button and check that sign out element is exist or not and compare with our expected result. So we can see our output result in output panel. So we are seeing that results in this output panel. Now I want to see this result through Orchestrator. So what I have to do, just connect your UiPath robot to the Orchestrator. Go to settings, click on Orchestrator settings. And enter Orchestrator URL and machine key, click on connect. After connecting your UiPath robot to Orchestrator, it is connected successfully. We need to publish our test case. Since it is there in a gray color, then right click on this test case and set as publishable. It will convert it into blue color. So if we don't set our test cases as publishable, then these test cases won't appear on the Orchestrator. Now we will select or we will click on publish. So our package name is demo login functionality with this new version and click on publish. After clicking on publish, our project is successfully published on Orchestrator. Then click on OK. Then go to Orchestrator. So cloud.uipath.com is our Orchestrator link. So before execution or doing test execution in Orchestrator, we need to set up one testing license. To set up our testing license, go to admin. In admin panel, go to this three dotted, click on edit services and click on edit license. Under edit license, we need to add one testing license. If we add our one testing license, then only we will be able to see our testing capabilities in Orchestrator dashboard. Then click on save. After adding this testing license, click on save. After clicking on save, just switch to Orchestrator. Click on Orchestrator. So Orchestrator dashboard has appeared. Under Orchestrator dashboard, we can see our testing options or we can see our testing capabilities. So these are the options, that is test cases, test set, test execution, test schedules, and test data queues. Now first we need to go to packages section and need to check that our project has been successfully published in packages or not. So here it is there, 2 minutes ago, this is my project name, demo login functionality. 2 minutes ago, I have published my packages. Just click on explore package. This is my current version. And these 3 types of XAML file are available in my project. Just click on login functionality. We can see the structure of our login functionality workflow. So this is the structure. And the test case XAML file we have designed, and this is my structure of my test case. So in explore package, we can also view the test case structure, how we have implemented in UiPath Studio Pro. And down we can see variables. Since we have one variable, that is expected result, and arguments, we have these many arguments that which are imported by the Excel sheet, and imports. Just close it. After packages, we need to navigate to the process section. In process section, we have to add our package name and testing environment. Just click on add. Our package name is demo login functionality. Package name is nothing but our project name. So version is automatically added, and my environment is testing environment. Select that environment and click on create. So under process, my project has been added for this environment. As we can see, type is testing. So after process, go to test cases. We can view our test cases for particular project. So this is my project, and under this project currently I'm having one test case. So this test case dashboard is only to view our test cases for a particular project and a modified date and all. 4 minutes ago we have modified this. We have published our test case. So this is our test cases dashboard. The test set is the combination of the project and the test cases. In test set, we need to add our test set. We need to add our test cases. Just click on add and give test set name. For example, I am giving demo login testing as a test set name, and select environment. This should be a testing environment. In my testing environment, these all projects are included. So my current project is this. I will check that and click on next. So only one test case is available for my current project. So I will check this box and create it. So test set is successfully added. So we can run our test cases from here. Just go to UiPath Studio Pro. We need to remove a variable which is already hard-coded. This one, this is hard-coded value. So there are two. Expected result is my hard-coded, but my expected result is also coming from my Excel sheet. So remove this data. I want to read expected result from Excel sheet and the variable. I will be comparing my actual result and the expected result with the Excel sheet. So we can execute this process by clicking on execute, click on OK. Now it will navigate to the test execution. We can see status as in a running state. So again, from orchestrator, this is from running the test cases from the orchestrator. So I have executed this test case from orchestrator by doing the following steps, like uploading the packages, after that creation of the process, adding test set, and executing the test cases from the test set. So again, it has opened Amazon URL, and click on the toggle button, click on sign out, enter email ID, click on continue, enter password, click on login. Then it will check our actual result. And it has extracted a sign out actual result. So my execution is done as my robot has been stopped. Just go to the orchestrator and check our test case result. Go to the orchestrator dashboard. So under test execution, we can view our test cases result. So this is my project name and the result is passed, and click on this detail. We can view our test case name. This is my test case and the result is passed with this started execution. And on clicking on the info, we can view the execution details. Like my project name is this, my test case ID is this, with this version, and start time and end time of the test case, and the job is completed. So if there are multiple test cases in a project, then it will display one by one in this dashboard. So for example, this is my previous project details. There are 2 test cases. It will display like this. So this was the execution from the orchestrator. That's it. Hello.
Okay, thanks, Sony. Thanks for the demonstration. If there are queries or questions related to the entire workflow and development Sony has shown, you can just unmute yourself and ask questions. There is one question related to the recordings. I can see we can definitely do the recordings, and by using recordings, you can do the basic desktop, web, image, native, Citrix. So different types of recordings are available, and just like the UiPath in RPA, here also you can do the recordings and create your test cases.
Hi, it was nice demo. So I have a query, like, could you please show me where you have added the validations in this given test case?
Okay, in then section, I have added the validation.
Sony, can you please explain more about the validation so that
Yeah.
there are queries related to how to do the verification or validation of expected result and actual result?
Exactly.
So there is a confusion related to that. Can you please explain in detail how to do that again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
generally the question would be like in when we go with this Selenium with TestNG approach, so we do have assertions, assertion true, assertion false, and we do take the screenshot based on the results. So can we imply the same logic over here?
Yes, if the test case get failed, no, then in orchestrator only, there is a view assertion. Then we can see all the screenshots and assertion details. See, here is a view assertions option.
Yeah.
So in view assertions, we can able to see screenshots, and even we can view our logs also.
Yeah, but it seems to be you haven't added that view assertion activity in the test case, right? That's the reason we are not seeing that. Am I right? Or
Yes, in test case activity, we can't add that assertions, but we can view from the orchestrator.
Okay.
Sorry, no, Ranjit, she has not enabled to take a screenshot when the test case is failed. That is the reason why she couldn't capture. Here, you can see right in the properties pane, there is a value called take screenshot if failed. If you enable this, if you make this true, when you run this, if in case the test case fails, there will be a screenshot available for you on Orchestrator for you to see the assertion screenshot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay.
So if the case is passed, even though we can take the screenshots, right?
Yes, so the current version she's using the version 1 of testing activities. That doesn't have option here, but we have released 1.2, the next version of the same activity, where you to take screenshot for the past case as well. Similarly, like take screenshot if failed, you have another option called take screenshot if passed. So if you want, you can just update the testing package. You will be able to see that and show that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Cool.
So here in short, you just have to click that checkbox and then screenshots will be there in Orchestrator.
Yeah. So it will be taking screenshot if the test case is passed and even for the failed also in updated version.
Yeah, so that will be basically will be under your control. If you want to take it, you can set that property to true. If you don't want it, if you think that is gonna just collect data and occupy space in your database, you can set it to false. Or you can just take it for the test cases where it is absolutely necessary, right? In that way, you can actually manage it better.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So Soni, can you please explain the validation in detail? So how to verify all this sign out, what is the expected result and the actual result you have validated. So that is the
Okay.
query.
So under testing and under testing verification, we are having a three verification activities. So verify control attribute is used to extract data from some web applications or desktop applications. That extracted data we can validate with our second expression expected result. This is the for verify control attribute. And for verify expression, if you are having, for example, I am declaring your actual result and expected result. I am declaring two values, that is actual result. My actual result is sign out. And expected result is sign out. So I have to verify that my actual result is validating with expected result. So what does this verify expression do? We have to manually give our actual result. It is under then scope when just change the scope to TC001. Okay. So here we need to manually enter like actual result is equals to expected result. Like this way we need to provide in verify expression, and in control attribute we can drag and drop activity and verify with expected result. And next operator is verify expression with operator. So here it is having an option in a drop down. For example, first expression is my actual result. Then we can select any of the operator from this drop down and we can compare it with second expression. So these are the differences between these three activities.
Yeah, Sony. So here the question is if you want to add any specific messages for the past cases or failed cases. So how we need to address here?
Okay, you want to see the failed cases?
No, no, I mean to say, see, in generally, see, just I'm comparing with the test-ng assertions. So generally in test-ng, when we return the Boolean value false, we do print the failed message, test message in the logs. So for the same, so how we need to write here that for failed and for the past, the test messages, which has to be printed in the logs.
Okay, you are saying that this passed and failed message we have to print in the logs.
Yeah.
That we can use a if else activity, or we can view it from orchestrator only. Currently, this activity does not have any output value to store that pass or failed result.
So I'll just add to that, Sumi. So Ranjit, basically what happens is when you verify something using our verify attribute or expression, any of these verification activities, right? So
Yeah.
there will be an automatic info log that will be generated saying that if this particular way expression is passed, your assertion, as you say it from your test ng analogy, when it's passed, it is going to generate its passed and why it is passed, because this value was equal to this value. And if it's failed, it is going to say why it is failed, because this and this happened. And on top of it, this is an info log, as I said. So on top of it, when it's failed, of course, you need to have an error log. So that will be captured under logs automatically. You don't have to kind of write anything to actually do it. There will be logs captured for you. And this assertion info log will also be automatically generated for you.
Yes. Yeah, thanks. So if you want to add any customized message over there, so how I
Yes, so for that, what we have done, so this verification activity itself, so I think this version doesn't have it. So we are gonna give you option here as a message. So just like the properties that you see in here, continue on failure or expression, right? So you would see another box here in the properties where you can set the message if you want to display customized message. So as I said, the version with which she is demonstrating is the first version of it. So there are a lot of enhancements that has been made. You would see it in when you update the package. You would be able to kind of display the customized messages if you need to.
Yeah, it seems to be like the latest version of this Android Studio Pro is 20.4, 4, right?
No, no, not really. So, I mean, the latest version of Studio Pro, the stable version, or the one that the enterprise is using 20.4, that is true. But for public preview or community, 20.9 is already out, so you'll be able to actually use
Yeah,
that.
but I tried it actually. I didn't get that. So still I'm using 20.4 only. And
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what you can do next month, we are releasing 20.10. That is an LTS, long-term support. That is a
yeah,
stable version for enterprise customers. So once that it's the market is public, can try it out
yeah,
and
yeah,
see how to check out the new functionality.
yeah. Yesterday only my organization bought one license for us, so I had to give a try for that.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Give it a try and let us know if you're missing something. We'll respond.
Yeah, and I had observed like this mobile device connection template is available only with Android Studio Pro, right? It
Yes, yes. It's only available with this studio. Mobile automation is only available.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I do posted few queries about this mobile automation, but I'm not getting any response either in
Oh,
the
is it?
community or on the mail also I done it.
Can you paste it here? Can you paste it in this chat? I will respond to it.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Great. So are there any more queries from any participants so that we can address that queries related to the test case which is developed in front of you? You can ask any query, any related query, even if it is a simple thing you are not getting, we can definitely give the answer for that and the solution for that, so that you will be using this UiPath test suite and you can automate your test cases in no time. So it is, you can see here like 15 to 20 minutes is required to create one test case, and you can pass any number of data in that test case dynamically.
One question on chat, Swati. How to run multiple test cases simultaneously?
Yeah, in debug file, by using debug file data variations, we can check our multiple test data. And even in test cases, if suppose I have 2 test cases, I need to select all the test cases and right click and run test cases. In Orchestrator, if we select all the test cases, then it will run the multiple test cases. But in this UiPath Studio Pro, we need to select here and run test cases.
So in next session, we are going to cover how to run or execute multiple test cases, because as this is the first session of development, we make it sweet and short so that everyone will get, even if you don't have any background related to UiPath, you will be getting how to create, how to automate your simple test case. So next session, definitely we will cover like multiple test cases, how to execute it, and how to get the test case from test management tool, and how to get the results on test management tool again after completion of your test suite execution. So that will be the next session. Next Saturday, we will be showing multiple test case execution with the test management tool as well. Yeah, so Mehul is asking, Sony, can you please show from where we can see workflow?
Which main workflow?
Yes, he just wanted to see like where we can see the workflow.
So in when section we are having workflow, just click on this open workflow, then it will automatically open our main workflow. So this is the workflow actions where we have implemented in login functionality.
So Mehul, I think you got the point. From open workflow in when section, you can just click on it and you will get the whatever workflow you have created, and you will get the entire workflow which you have developed by using UiPath. So that's it. Anything else? Anyone have any question?